What is going on, everyone? Leon checking in, and we're at it again with another video. In today's video, we'll be doing the unboxing, install, and review of the Spigen Rugged Armor Pro for Samsung Galaxy Watch4 Classic. Now, this is an interesting mod for the Watch4 Classic, and that's because it brings along some questions. For example, how does it install? Can this be used with a screen protector? How will this case affect the rotating bezel on the Watch4 Classic? And how does this all look as a kit? Now, these items are featured on the Samsung Galaxy playlist, so you can find information related to this topic quickly and easily. In previous videos, we performed the unboxing and initial startup of the Watch4 Classic and talked protection and band removal. In upcoming videos, we'll be talking more about the Watch4 Classic capabilities. Now, today's video was filmed on the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold3 and edited on the Google Pixelbook Go using the PowerDirector app from the Google Playstore. This allows us to put all the devices we reviewed through real-world usage so you can see real-world results. As always, we only feature products or services I buy, use, or am interested in. Now, you can find these items and related accessories at the Amazon storefront link in the description below. Don't have time to watch the whole video? We're now a podcast you can find on multiple platforms by searching for Pixels Cracked. And if you are listening to this on a podcast, you can find the more detailed video and YouTube channel by searching for Pixels Cracked as well. All things said, let's go ahead and get into it. So here we are with the unboxing. Price comes in at about $23. Contents include the one-piece case and band assembly. Yes, you heard that right. This is all a one-piece unit, which should simplify installation. So let's talk design. This case might look familiar, and that's because it features the rugged and tactical G-Shock design, which I like. We have cutouts for the home and back keys as well as ports. Of equal importance though is the cutout for rotating bezel use, which we'll test later in the video. Overall, I think this cutout looks pretty cool actually. The case housing also features the familiar faux carbon fiber accents, which add to the tactical appearance. Moving on to the band, we have Spigen logo followed by more faux carbon fiber accent. The band buckle is fairly large and features another Spigen logo. And along the band is a strap keeper, which features a built-in notch for improved lock-in, which Spigen calls smart lock-in technology. Now, this complete kit features flexibility, which means that it should be able to absorb shock. So let's talk installation. First, we'll start by removing the bands. Now is a good time to clean the watch since we have everything off right now. Next, we're going to have installation of the Watch4 Classic into this housing. Now, I'm going to tell you that this is not going to be exactly easy to do. It does require a little bit of force, but it does go in and it actually fits in there nice and tight. Now, I've noticed once you have the watch pressed in here, you actually want to press on it a little bit more just to make sure it's fully seated, because we want that rotating bezel to work properly. The other thing that helps to make sure that the rotating bezel actually functions is to push on the watch right about here, just to make sure that it's actually seated in basically these areas where the straps begin. Now, the good news is removal is a little bit easier. We're just going to pick up here and then basically push the two bands apart, and then we can kind of just squeeze the watch out here nice and slowly. The reason I'm going slow is I don't want my watch to actually fly off somewhere. Now, you could actually do this a little bit faster, but I wanted to take my time doing this for that reason. So first impression is this looks nice. I also want to mention that I do have a display protector on here, and it plays really well with it. Now, when it comes to fitment, this device is going to fit really snug on my arm. It doesn't feel like it's going to slide around. Now, because we have the case on here, everything is obviously going to be a little bit bigger. Now, when it comes to the home and back keys, they have good travel within this case, which means that you can still easily press them. And then we have display swiping, which still works well even though we have this case on here. I thought it was actually going to be harder to do, but it's actually not bad at all. And then we have the rotating bezel here, and that's going to be a little bit of a different experience here. It does work, but it's going to take some practice to get used to, and obviously we're going to only be able to use a finger at a time on it. What I find is that it gets a little harder to use when your finger starts to get a little sweaty, and because we have that small surface area, changing tiles with it does become a little bit more of a challenge. So overall, this case does look really nice and it does what it's supposed to, but the ultimate deciding factor here will be how much of the rotating bezel do you want to compromise for protection. So let's talk charging, which may be another deciding factor for you. So again, this Spigen case, it's really nice, but it's not as flexible as we'd want it to be. The bands don't lay flat, which means that you can't just drop your watch on this wireless charger. Now what you could do is just press on this hard enough and you can see that that wireless charger attaches to the watch itself. The other thing we could do is lay the watch on its face like you see here, and then we could attach the charger, but who really wants to do that? And really there's only two other options. One of the options would be to place your wireless charger on a surface like this, which would allow you to take your watch and then you can just hang it over, or you would buy a stand like Spigen offers where you can place the wireless charger inside of it and then you can place the watch on the stand itself. And if you're interested in this item, you can find it at the Amazon storefront link in the description below. So that is it for today's video. If you enjoyed it and found it useful, please leave a like. If you're watching this on YouTube and have any questions or comments, as always, drop those down below and I'll do my best to answer them. Now, there are 3 ways you can support the channel and podcast. The first way is to click on the Amazon storefront link in the description below. There you'll find items that I have bought or would like to buy, and anything you buy from the storefront does support the content. The next way you can support us is just by sharing this with someone who might enjoy it or find it useful. And the last way you can show your support is just by clicking on the subscribe or follow button. Now, liking and subscribing are important. Those are your ways to vote on whether you like the video or the podcast. Liking and subscribing are also important for new viewers and listeners. If new viewers and listeners see likes and subscribers, they're going to think that the content is helpful, worth watching, and listening to. So that is pretty much it. And until next time, Leon checking out.
You